Last Friday, an article in the Anchorage Daily News appeared, and that article contains substantial factual inaccuracies that I'd like to correct. Namely, the sake of my integrity and my character. These are cornerstones of my life. They're not mere words in the dictionary in which I conduct myself. I've worked for over the last 30 years to protect my country and to make Anchorage safer. I'm having my character and integrity questioned, and I will not stand for it. Furthermore, the mayor's talk show cronies are attacking the integrity of the Anchorage Police Department, and I'm not going to stand for that either. So at this time, I'd like to play a clip, because when I hear something like this, I'm outraged.
You can call the show at 522-0750 or outside of Anchorage at 1-888-9090-750. Now, here's Casey.
All right, welcome back to the Casey Reynolds Radio Show. So we're talking a few hours about Mr. Honeman getting caught, or catching a guy with his pants down. I guess Mr. Honeman wasn't caught with his pants down, but he caught another guy with his pants down. That guy just happened to be raping and abusing women. And Mr. Honeman turned around and walked away, and apparently didn't do anything about it.
Now I should state that KFKD talk show host Casey Reynolds, who I should point out served as Mayor Dan Sullivan's transition manager and who's tipped off about this lawsuit that the plaintiff's attorney filed, and had certainly filed a Freedom of Information request for the court documents, is spreading lies and slander for political gain of his former boss. And this is gutter politics, I believe, the politics of personal destruction, and I will not stand for it. So let me just summarize. I've provided each of you with some facts that I have just recently submitted to the municipal attorney's office to include in the filings that he has referenced the lawsuit that's pending before the municipality. I caught Officer Rollins in 2004 while on duty having an affair with a person known to him. While his behavior wasn't illegal, it was wrong and resulted in his discipline and demotion. In the 2005 incident, I walked into the public affairs office and encountered Rollins while I was providing a tour of the department to my wife and a friend. Contrary to what has been suggested, no overt sexual acts were taking place, nor was a rape taking place. The suggestion that that's what was happening is wrong and slanderous. Upon discovering the situation and sending my wife and friend home, I immediately returned to the public affairs office, intending to physically confront Rollins. When I discovered that he was gone from the office and that the office was empty, I called Rollins and requested that he return to talk about the situation. He denied wrongdoing and emphatically stated that he was the only one in the office merely taking a nap while off duty. Contrary to what was reported, I did not walk away. I would never walk away. I reported my discovery to my direct report boss, Deputy Chief Rob Hune, at the time. He was unavailable. I left a message for an urgent response. I also reported what I found to Officer Rollins' Division Director, Deputy Chief Audie Holloway. Deputy Chief Holloway advised me that he would handle the incident after learning the details that I did not physically see anyone nor any overt acts taking place, merely a belief. Within a week, I followed up with Sergeant Fanning in the Internal Affairs Office and made him aware of the event, and we openly discussed that given the circumstances, there was nothing more that could have been done at that time. So where do I believe we are? I believe dirty politics. What has happened since last Friday is dirty politics at its worst. It is unfortunately absolutely predictable that this kind of stuff happens in the last weeks of an election. His cronies on the talk radio are spreading lies and innuendo that is inaccurate and slanderous. I felt it necessary to bring you here today to set the record straight. Sergeant McCoy never interviewed me in his 2009 investigation of Rollins, instead relying on inaccurate fourth-hand testimony from Lieutenant Henry. Casey Grove at the Anchorage Daily News never called to interview me when he was writing his article. As a result, misinformation and innuendo and outright lies are being spread, and that needs to stop today. In summary, I'd like to reaffirm my belief in the integrity of the Anchorage Police Department. I am as outraged by the accusations of impropriety that have been leveled against the department as a whole as I am by the accusations leveled at me. I cannot and will not begin to try to explain or justify the repeated misconduct of Anthony Rollins, and I remain firm in my belief that his actions stand as an extreme anomaly to an otherwise professionally trained and honorable men and women of the Anchorage Police Department. I also strongly believe that if, as asserted, that I had simply closed the door in 2005 and done or said nothing, we would not even be here today talking about this incident. The fact is, I did my duty and reported this incident to the highest levels of the APD. So I have a few questions. I unfortunately do need to leave soon to head to a forum, but I have time for a few questions.
Paul, you said that this is slander. You're going to sue Casey Reynolds?
I'm certainly contemplating all options, and we have downloaded the podcast from KFKD's talk show from yesterday, and I will be consulting with an attorney as to what the next steps would be. But I'm certainly, at minimum, demanding an on-air apology and an equal. This went on for over an hour on the Casey Reynolds show, and further repeated itself on KFKD in the afternoon with Dave Steeren's show. Although I don't remember hearing Dave Steeren saying anything that's slanderous, merely his opinion of what he read. I have no problems with people reading an article. Sometimes, as we all know, what's in the news doesn't contain all sides of the story or all facts. I recognize that, and I certainly will honor and respect that people will have an opinion and form such. But I am absolutely outraged at slanderous comments that were not true, not factual, and cannot, I don't know where they came from, other than you'll have to ask Mr. Reynolds.
Have you talked to station management?
Not at this time. I wanted to wait and listen. First of all, I needed to get a report. The report that was inaccurately stated, the facts that was in the Anchorage Daily News. I didn't get that till late in the day yesterday. And I wasn't able to download the podcast till late in the evening last night. I had a function and an event to be at. So at around 8:30 last night, I wasn't able to contact the station management. And I felt best that I do my press conference, go to my forum, and I'll be certainly in touch with station management this afternoon.
So beyond the talk show discussions, what makes you think that it's dirt? What proof do you have that it's dirty politics?
I'm connecting the dots, and my dots are that Casey Reynolds was the manager, transition manager for Mayor Dan Sullivan, the former spokesperson for the Republican Party of Alaska, and that he clearly and repeatedly states his support, undying support for the mayor. And from what I've heard, I don't listen to Mr. Reynolds, but from several people who know me, who listen to talk radio from time to time, their questions to me often are, why is this guy so against you? What have you done to him? And I clearly have not. In fact, at one time, for a brief period, we were co-workers. I did talk radio morning news traffic report, and his show started about an hour before my shift ended.
But does anything point directly to the Sullivan administration?
Not directly, but I believe indirectly through his cronies that, again, are listening on and have talk show radio shows and particularly blogs that go around the city. So directly, no.
Well, what do you think the mayor should do at this point?
I believe he should make a statement of fact as to, now that he knows the information was inaccurate, I believe the mayor should stand before the body and before the public and explain that there were some inaccuracies reported in the facts, and that he may or may not wish to set his record straight. I'll let the mayor speak for himself.
I mean, talk shows all the time have inaccuracies and innuendo. It's opinion, it's speculation.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
And
So-
it goes over the line and over the top when it becomes slanderous.
but
One more question?
I'm just wondering how you think it makes this bigger leap into dirty politics.
You know,
Or, I mean, is it something you think the administration, the current administration, is manipulating behind it?
You know, I believe that Dan Sullivan will likely do or say anything to get reelected, to better his chances. That I firmly believe in. I don't have direct evidence that connects Dan Sullivan to Casey Reynolds with the information that Casey Reynolds is using and spouting off on his talk radio. And I certainly believe that it's more and mere entertainment value. I tell people that call me with concerns and frustration all the time. If you don't like what you're hearing, turn it off, tune into another station. And again, opinions and statements for entertainment value is one thing, but slanderous data, slanderous information stating as a fact has no place in anything and anywhere in what I know to be media.
You made one comment I think bears some elaboration. You said the mayor would do anything.
I said I believe.
Okay, but do you believe then that he's unscrupulous? And that you said he would do anything?
I believe this mayor would say and do anything to better his chances for re-election. And that would include talking to his talk show radio cronies. He is on weekly, if not more so, with both Dave Steeren and, in fact, I believe he's on with many talk radio shows. And that certainly is his purview as a sitting mayor and as a person that has access to the talk radio shows. So I believe there's at least an indirect connection for that.